Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. We have quite a bit to talk about here. I have the episode 7 trailer here in front of me, so I'm going to react to it, or I've already watched it, but I'm going to break it down. There's some stuff in here that, at least when it comes to Jadis, makes the story very interesting, because she says something in here that everyone is saying must be related to this, and it actually could be. That's the crazy thing about it, is it actually could be, because this is episode 7, right? After this episode, we have 3 more left. And if you notice, it really feels like we're in the end game. Like things are starting to really ramp up here. Whatever is happening here with the CRM and all of that, whatever Iris and Hope are up to, and Felix, I mean, we kind of know what they're up to. They're trying to learn more about Dr. Belshaw. You know, there's some stuff here that is definitely going to come out in the next like couple of episodes. Probably episode 7, I'm thinking 7 or 8. There's going to be some big things that do happen here, and then I mean it's really building to the end, right? And that's the thing you gotta remember too. Like what's going to be the big episode 9 or episode 10? Because sometimes, you know, in the past, The Walking Dead has done the penultimate episode to be the bigger episode, and then the very last one to sort of be a goodbye. I think of a show like Daredevil. You know, I remember one of the seasons, the episode before the last episode was the big one, and then the very last one was more of this peaceful transition and kind of ending to the story. So they might do that here, right? Where some characters die in episode, say 8 or 9, some crazy things happen, and then in episode 10 is sort of this like goodbye to these characters, goodbye to the story, and this like setup for what's next, right? So I'm very interested, because like we see some footage in here of Jadis. None of it is related to say this shot here of Jadis. This is what we got in the trailer. We see her landing down on a helicopter. So where is this from? This is clearly from episode, I guess 8 or 9 or 10, right? One of those three episodes. And so that tells me that, you know, she's going to be a big part of the final arc here of the story. Elizabeth Kublik is likely going to come into play probably in episode 8 or 9 and then be there until the end. But like, what is going on here, right? Like, what exactly is going on here? Jadis does mention at one point in the trailer here that something valuable is missing. And a lot of people are thinking that could be Rick, and that she's reacting because Rick escaped, right? And so there is some stuff here. There is some like credible, I guess credibility to this, right? If you think about the fact that Elizabeth Kublik had to leave because there were some very, very important like things that she had to deal with at the health and welfare complex. So that's why she had to go. And so if the matter that she was dealing with was that Rick Grimes escaped, then obviously at some point Jadis might not have been in contact with Rick for a while. Maybe now she's finding out about it. And then obviously her talking with Huck, she needs her help because her mom's going to be pissed off, or there's something there. There's a missing story element there. You know, like I think all of that makes a lot of sense right now. You know, I think in terms of the Rick Grimes stuff, obviously we're not going to see Rick, right, on the show. We're not going to see Andrew Lincoln, but there could be story elements like that they are going to start to introduce here. Things that we hear about from the Civic Republic, like them or like Jadis reacting to something that Rick just did, sort of thing, right? Which is exciting. I know it's not seeing him, but it's still exciting because it's connecting everything together. So anyways, obviously if you are new to the channel, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all of my Walking Dead content. I'm really excited for World Beyond. Honestly, it's just been really great. And also I will be doing my Fear the Walking Dead reviews and trailer breakdown tomorrow. I know I'm a little late with it, but it is Halloween, and I mean, I'm running out of time already. Right? Like I have to take the kids out in a couple of hours to, you know, go trick-or-treating. I want to do some Halloween stuff, and I want to do some activities with them before they actually go out and stuff. So I'm pretty busy right now. I should have stayed up last night to do it, but I was so tired. But yeah, so that'll be out tomorrow, but I also have a Walking Dead video as well coming out tomorrow, and then a bunch of stuff. I'm going to get on that Discord Q&A, so stay tuned for that, and the podcast as well will be dropping. So a lot of stuff, everything's going to go back to normal this week, so yeah, stay tuned for all that content coming here. But let's talk about Jadis and I guess the episode 7 trailer here. So the first thing that we see here is Jadis runs into Silas. So that's interesting, right? Like Jadis is just somehow connected with all of this. She's just kind of walking around and like, so I do wonder how this plays a role here. I have a feeling what it is Silas just sort of gets into trouble. And Jadis was like, you know, maybe she was on patrol. She was doing something because she's a warrant officer. And that wasn't a thing when I was younger. I know my mom talks about it, but apparently it was a thing back in the day. Maybe some of you guys who are of that age probably know or remember. But apparently that used to be a thing that you would actually have warrant officers around if you were skipping school and stuff, and you would have a warrant officer take you to your school, literally. And so, that's kind of her position right now. She's a warrant officer, so she makes sure that people are where they're supposed to be, right? And so if Silas is sort of roaming around, she's like, where the hell are you going? Where are you supposed to be? And so she gathers all this information, brings him here. This really could be like a nothing scene, and it could be just something related to maybe something she was doing outside, and then she just sort of came across Silas, right? And then but still cool to see that these two characters met. That's kind of cool. So I mean, I will say it is kind of funny that Jadis is like the main character now in this show. Like she just has that star power, like that that presence that. She came on the show, and a lot of people aren't really that big of a fan of the main cast, and so you have her on the show. Immediately, she's the main character. Her and Elizabeth Kublik, like they haven't had a scene together yet, but I can't wait for them to have that scene. We then see a lot of stuff here. We see Dr. Bennett, I believe. Yes, Dr. Bennett. He's looking at this tube here, and it's kind of greenish, and I don't know. This is like obviously cure related. They're trying to do something, and this all connects with what Hope and Iris are saying. Like they are worried about Belshaw and whether or not she's going to sell her dad out, sort of thing, right? And kind of screw him over, because like he is trying to trust her. Obviously, they've sort of been like in love for a while, but there is something about her. There's something that none of us know, and that's the thing with the Civic Republic. We know some information, but there's some stuff that we don't know, and I think that's on purpose because the show isn't supposed to be what the Rick movies are, right? Like the CRM are going to be very fleshed out in the movies. We're going to start to realize their power in those movies. Here, we're just seeing a small side to it. But if you notice in the last episode or two, the stakes have been raised a bit because they're actually starting to affect the CRM, right? In terms of the cure stuff and what they're doing with Elizabeth Kublik and with Jadis and stuff. So they're actually starting to affect their future. There's, I mean, if you think about it, in Fear the Walking Dead, Isabel doesn't even want to say where Althea is from, or no, Althea doesn't even want to say where Isabel's from. That's nothing compared to what they're going through, right? Like what they're going through right now, they are totally screwing everything over here. So this is going to get really interesting here. And we see Dr. Belshaw doing, this actually looks like the tube of liquid, or this vial, I guess, that Dr. Leo Bennett had earlier. And she is kind of looking at this thing like it's, like what is this sort of thing, right? And they're trying to find some type of cure here, and I wonder if this is actually something that I don't want to say it's a cure because I don't think they're actually going to find a cure yet, but I wonder if this is something that is very promising, and maybe that's what Jadis is referring to here, that this goes missing. We have this shot here of Dr. Belshaw in this room, and it's all green, and and I don't know what the hell's going on here. Is she behind glass? I'm assuming she would have to be, but maybe not. I don't know what the hell. Like this whole thing, actually, you know what? She has to be. This whole thing's just so weird, and I don't even know what the hell she's signing off on here. Like she's doing something, and if I could just read what those notes say, then I would know. But it seems like something happens here. Dr. Belshaw is doing her work, and then she comes up to the CRM soldier, and then he says that we have to talk. There's a problem. And so something's going on here. And then we get into some stuff here with Jadis and Huck, and they're talking, and Jadis says something valuable is missing. And so, this could be cure related, or not cure related, but related to, I guess technically cure related, or it could be related to Rick, because it depends, like they could have taken something, right? Like it's possible that Hope and Iris or Felix took something very valuable from the CRM and ran away with it, right? But I don't know if that's possible yet, right? Like we'll have to see where they're going with that. If you just consider Jadis's position, she is a warrant officer. She's saying that something valuable is missing. I mean, her duty is to make sure that people stay where they're supposed to stay, basically, right? And so if someone is out of place, someone is, then she has to react to that. And so that's why I am going to throw this out there. Is this actually Rick related right here? Is she reacting to the news that Rick escaped? Or I'm just very curious about this. What exactly is she reacting to here? Because it's sort of set up, like if you go to the next shot here, we do see obviously Felix gets arrested here. He's going to get held captive, and there's some shots of the trailer where we do see them get caught, so obviously they are going to get caught here in this episode. Hope and Iris, obviously they see this thing on this camera, and then they just say, they're like, oh, run. And so they gotta run because they're about to get held captive from the CRM, and it's going to be really bad, right? But is Jadis in the position to react to something like this, right? Like she was put here not necessarily fill in for Elizabeth Kublik. That wasn't the deal here. She was just sort of like, you're here, you can use my office for the time being, but obviously she's here she is here for an unrelated matter. So it's either going to be that she's reacting to the Rick stuff that I was saying, like people are theorizing right now, or it's that something connected to Dr. Belshaw has went missing, and so they're running out there somewhere with it. And like, that's the thing, like, I don't know. It depends on what it is. Did they find something that is very harmful for people? Right? Because if it's a cure, why do they want to steal that and take that away from people? That's kind of messed up. Or are they planning to do something very messed up with it, right? And so that's why they stole it. So I'm just kind of confused on what's going on here. I don't know exactly why Hope and Iris, like, it's almost like I'm siding with Jadis in the CRM. Like I'm kind of like, they're trying to find a cure, so don't mess anything up. And if you're stealing that and running away with that, what the hell are you doing? That's really stupid of you. You should not be doing that, right? And I don't think that's necessarily what's happening here. So I don't know what Jadis is reacting to here. It could be that, but it also could be the fact that Rick actually broke out of the health and welfare complex, because that is sort of something that they have been setting up on the side, right? Like Elizabeth Kublik has been talking about issues that have been going on there, very important matters that she has to deal with, so she has to leave. If that's very important that she has to leave, they have to be big if she has to be involved, right? And so she's leaving for all of that. I mean, at this point here, like, she had to leave again, right? Because she left to go deal with it, and she's like, yeah, but they're dealt with now. But then she had to leave again because they were urgent again as well. And so, you know, I do wonder if this is all related. I am very interested in seeing where they're going to go with all of this. And yeah, I think that World Beyond it is getting very exciting. So post all your predictions down below for episode 7. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.